Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Woo! Yeah, I'm coming in strong. We coming in hot. Coming in hot. Okay? Got the guitars out. I'm gonna let the solo ride out. Cause I told you, this is how we start. It's Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Hey, we got the guitars out. This is Delaware Music Network episode. That's right. I'ma have Peaks. Woo! That's a fact. That's a fact. She gonna be on the show. Woo! Hold up. I just had to hit the ugly face one time. I had to hit the ugly face one time for the people. Yes, but I'ma have Peaks on the show. Skirt. I'm going to have S. Romeo joining the show, right? And as well as I'm also going to have, if y'all don't know, Songbird the Goddess joining the show. Oh, we're going to have a great time, a great conversation. It's going to be great vibes today, all right? Shouts out to things I want to say before I start bringing them up. I got y'all to know. Hey, I just left Rare House Studios, this new place called the Dahlia downtown, 1601 Jessup Street. Go and check it out. It's a vibe. Like that is, it's a beautiful little venue. You want to do some, Shouts out to my man Posy, Josh Hollingsworth, UCE. Oh, they put something beautiful together in that venue. So I suggest everybody, go ahead, check it out. See what you want to do, plan your wedding, your graduation, and then hire me to host it because why not? So there's that. Also gotta let the people know one good time. Shouts out to, listen, this is the Delaware Music Network episode of Hats Off. Once a month we have the featured acts, the featured artists that will be performing, hop on. And we talk. Y'all get to know some of these artists and what we doing. I also gotta say happy birthday, Joe. Guess who made it? You did. Okay? Shouts out to your survival in last year. Okay? Building this Delaware Music Network thing in the city. You heard me? So I gotta give a shout out to Joe Bilardo for leading the way and putting this whole Delaware Music Network thing together. I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to do that, because we got some things coming. It's a back end on it. Woo! It's a back end. It really got to own it. It got to. Okay, so this Delaware Music Network is working on some things coming up. All right. With that said, because again, this is the Delaware Music Network episode of Hats Off. Once a month, talking to these featured artists. So let's see who we got today. Oh man, let me see. So first and foremost, I'm gonna bring up Peter. Let me see. And then shortly we should be having Songbird the Goddess join us, as well as my man S. Romeo. All right, boom. So let's get it cooking. Let me see. Bam. All right. There we go. All right. And then Peak should be coming up in just a moment. Yeah. Let me get this vibe right. All right. There you go, Peaks. It should be bringing you up as well. Let me see. This is the one time my technical difficulties is doing to me. Let me see. Well, while it goes to bring her up, let me tell y'all about some things. Why not? Because while I wait. Oh, there we go. Peaks in the building.
Hello.
It allowed Peaks to peek in. Okay, I didn't know if Peaks would be able to peek in, but guess who could? You did.
There
all right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Listen, another day in paradise. Woo.
Exactly. Staying warm.
Right, because it's frosty. If they froze out our show, So I was sad. I cried two single tears.
I
Okay,
know. I'm so sad. I really am. I was looking
that's
forward to it.
a fact. So first and foremost, tell people about your sound. What's the peak
Well,
sound like?
well, so I'm a singer-songwriter, so I heavily love lyrics and storytelling. And honestly, I feel like I'm still kind of figuring out where exactly my sound lies. I love all music, so I like pop, I like soul, I like country. So I'm just kind of, whatever I like, I'm playing it. Whatever my song kind of sounds like, I'm doing it. I try not to box myself in,
Right.
and that's just what we're doing right now.
Oh, I love that. How long you been writing?
I've been writing ever since I could write. Like when I was like since I could talk, I was making songs up. Didn't make any sense, but I was doing it.
So you kind of lived in the melody before you lived in the words.
Yes, exactly. But I got more serious about it when I was in high school, and then after high school went just full-fledged into the songwriting.
Okay, right. Just because just how my brain works. You got real serious about the writing in high school. Was it because uh, of newfound love or the breakup? Because one of those two is really good at
You
it.
know what? I wouldn't even say I had like a high school love. For me, I was a big reader. I need to get back into reading, but I was a big reader. So I feel like at that time I was writing a lot of songs about stories that I'd heard. Yeah, and just
You were writing soundtracks.
yeah,
You was
exactly. Yes.
literally interested.
Well, that's when I was in like musical theater too. So I was like in that zone. Yeah, but I'm not really I don't do that anymore at the moment.
You said that like I'm not doing any more plays. Please don't ask me to
No,
do
I would love to, but just not right now. I'm on a hiatus. Yeah.
this. So what are some of your favorite things to write about?
Um right now, I feel like where I am in my life, I'm growing, I'm navigating relationships and people, navigating myself and just the world around me. And that's what I'm writing about. I have one of my favorite songs is called Chaos, and that's exactly how I feel sometimes. Just everything is chaos, but and I love it. And I feel like a lot of times artists enjoy chaos and kind of cling to it because a lot of art comes from that. Yeah.
Like they got to go through a little bit of just chaotic
Oh
struggle
yeah.
just to they be like, "Yeah, wow,
And
okay.
you don't if you don't go through something that just happens to you, I think artists are a little masochistic in themselves where they might tend to sabotage some things just for the sake of a story.
For the sake of the
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta blow it up because you know how crazy what I'm about to write is going to
Oh
sound.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Listen, if you ask me, Taylor Swift made a whole career about burning it down. And then, like, hold up. Every time there's a breakup, we about to roll out. Okay.
She did it well. She knew what she was doing and she did it with confidence. She's definitely an
Oh
inspiration.
man. So, all right. So now, when you're creating, do you play an instrument as well?
I play guitar. That's my main instrument, and then a little bit of keyboard, but not that good.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer when it's time to get down with the boom, or do you prefer the vocal?
I definitely prefer the vocals, but I will say when I started performing, like I don't have a band at the moment. I would love a band, but learning guitar has been very helpful with that. So I don't have to use tracks when I perform, because sometimes I don't think there's anything wrong with tracks, but I think it's more authentic when you're playing it or someone else is playing it behind you. So I'm glad that I picked that up.
Absolutely. So it's funny because I don't know if you know Ty Mathis. He's an artist I work with. He's also been on the Delaware Music Network stage, and I have a festival coming up with him in a couple weeks. But so he plays his instruments for the same reason. Like I was like, hey, so you play the guitar? He was like, yeah, he plays like everything. And I was like, well, why do you play so much stuff? And he's like, cause I didn't have a band, so I had to make the songs. So it's like,
You gotta learn.
okay,
Yeah.
was it difficult?
Um, I started in yeah, once again high school. I just took a few like guitar classes and picked it up. I definitely have gotten much better at it. I'm not at all like a full-blown guitarist. Like I play the most basic of things, but I think it's kind of easy to fake it, especially to people who don't play guitar. I abuse the capo. The capo is my best friend. Like I don't need to do the bar chords, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because now I don't play. So now you about to educate me. What's the capo? Listen, I had a cape on when I was going to be Superman when I was a kid.
A little
Probably not the same
different,
thing.
yeah, a little different. It basically just changes the key of the song, but when you're writing, it makes it a lot easier because if I'm playing just a regular C chord, I can now put a capo on it wherever I want, and it changes the sound of it. And then I don't have to do all the difficult little things that I don't know how to do.
Wow. So it can help you kind of play. It's almost like in the production where there's this thing called quantizer where it just changes the notes, or even
Hmm.
when people use the vocoder to get the little auto tune sound to a certain extent, just kind of changes the notes for you while you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay. So when it comes to the get down, right, and Peaks is about to create uh greatness. What's your favorite part of it? Is it singing the song or is it writing the song?
Mm, those are two, yeah, that's two very different things. Obviously, it's so fun to finally get on stage and share what you've been writing and for people to see how people react to it. Um, but there's also something very therapeutic about going through something, whether that be good or bad, but usually when it's bad, and then you write about it, and then it's almost like it's like, all right, next chapter, let's move on. There's something like next page, and it's very like literal because it's like, all right, that song's done, that chapter's done. Let's write a new one.
Right.
Yeah,
It's almost like a very freeing atmosphere to be able to do it.
exactly.
Okay. So now, what advice would you give for an artist trying to figure kind of that out, or kind of going through it in that space?
I mean, it's a very personal thing, and I know songwriting and just creating, whether no matter what the art is very personal. And you kind of it's lame advice, but you kind of just have to figure out what works for you. I used to write without my guitar, and I used to just sit and write words, and now I my guitar actually helps like when I play the chords and hear what that sounds like in my head, and then I'm like, you know what, that kind of sounds more melancholy. Maybe I want to write this in a more that kind of way. Yeah, you gotta, I don't know, you figure it out as you do it. Everything changes, and I think every time that I sit down and start doing my writing, it shifts a little bit. So yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what's dope about that to me, right? So like, cause in my brain, you said first you just start to sit and you was writing words. I guess these words were all in the same context, or maybe not. Maybe it was like blue, yellow, and then
Yeah.
and then you added a melody to it, like blue and yellow.
Yeah,
Hold up,
right?
we got a thing here. The next thing you know, you create a thing,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. And those are some of my songs that are written in like a stupid amount of time, like in 30 minutes. And they're so easy. I'm just like, I think about all my ones that are more meaningful. I'm like, what? Like, why can't you just come easy like this? Like, what? Like, I'll just be writing down random stuff when I'm not even feeling. And sometimes that's when the best songs come out. Yeah,
Really?
you got to detach yourself from situations sometimes.
Okay. So you asked the perfect, like you went into it, like you kind of took me where I was gonna go. So writer's block, right? Does that ever happen? Is that a thing when it's like I don't even know what to do anymore?
It definitely is a thing. And I was just saying, like, yeah, you have to detach yourself, and sometimes that works. Sometimes it's you have to step away from whatever you're going through, and then finally you gain clarity on it. Or it's the complete opposite, where you just are like showered with everything, and that's when you do the best. But one of the things that I have to tell myself when I'm writing is I have to tell myself no one's going to hear this right now because what I'll do is I'll write like five of the same songs. And if I'm writing for someone else or writing for an audience that I think is going to be there, it's never going to be authentic. I have to write exactly what's on my mind and exactly what I'm feeling. And then usually by the end of the song, once the story's all told, then I don't care who hears it and I don't care what people think about it.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you. So what? First, let me talk to the audience. So hey, by the way, just in case y'all listening, what y'all should know, right? Hey, okay, so mess up your life a little bit. Okay, I'm lying. Don't do it on purpose. But
Yeah.
life, you ain't gotta do it on purpose. Trust me, life will do it for you. But after you do that, okay, step away from it. and just watch it burn for a little bit, like it's all on fire, and grab out a pen and write. You're going to get some of your best work, okay? You're going to get
Absolutely.
somewhere between Mary J. Blige and Janis Joplin, okay? You want to know why Amy Winehouse did the drugs? Okay, never mind. Back to
Well,
the point. Okay. That's what you were saying. Now, okay. So right now, when you either detach from it to kill the writer's block, or you wind up kind of embracing all that you're going through and totally feeling it to help. Does it help you heal from this stuff? Is that essentially what's happening?
absolutely. Like I definitely think of it as a form of like therapy. You know, it's I I have so many songwriting books that are just more than half the songs are just like a diary entry where I'm just really putting everything out there and then case closed. And sometimes I think I was saying this to one of my friends where I'm like, if I write a song about something or like about someone and it's bad and then I go back to that person, I'm like, girl, we were done chapter. We closed that song. You know?
Right.
And that's for me where I'm like, all right, once I wrote a song about you,
Oh,
that's it.
yo, there's
Especially
something
well,
out
when it's
there
a bad
right
one.
now. Like, wow. Ever since I heard that was about me, and never again, never again, huh?
No, yeah.
Like, they just statue you. Don't write yet, please. It's not over. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So now because my brain gets into this curious place of so right after you write it and you're that vulnerable place and you say, all right, well, now it's gone, so now I don't care. Is there ever the after effect where you've written the song, you created a thing, and then especially depending on where you performed it or posted or whatever the case may be, you're like, oh wait, I didn't expect that person to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh,
Yeah. No, no, definitely. Well, also, it's kind of embarrassing. I've had people be like, "Is that song about me?" And I'm like, it's more embarrassing because it's when it's really not. It's like, no, like that's so. It's just not. But you know what? Whatever you want to
oh,
believe. I'm like, you're
oh,
so vain. You know? I'm like, nah, that's not. But but also on the same thing too. I have people come to me with songs and they'll think it's about something completely different just in their own life. And I think that that's just kind of the beauty of songwriting and the beauty of lyrics and music is that it truly touches people in completely different ways. And if I wrote a song about something and something very specific in my life, it is going to touch someone completely separately in a totally different way. And I love that. And that's what it's supposed to be.
right. I think to me that's truly the beauty of art,
Hmm.
right? I wanted to write a book before, and when I wrote the book, I put it out there, and it was kind of my tales of what kind of helped me get through things. And then I was like, wait, somebody else saw it. I was like, wait, you'll understand? Oh, okay, hold up. It wasn't for you, but glad it helped
Yeah,
you.
right. Yeah.
Like you don't know what to do with that,
Yeah,
you
right.
know. So did you have to when it was about the person? Did you say yes, or did you duck away from that?
No, that's just like, what are you talking about? No, no, no. No, I will never confirm or deny. It's just kind of like, no, it's my song. Yeah.
So they're like, so you're saying there's a
Yeah,
chance?
no.
Okay, you didn't write
Well,
about me yet.
that's like technically a thing, I guess, like I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure like in court they're not allowed to use song lyrics. So that's
Right.
why I'm always like, no, it's fiction. Like, what are you talking about? It wasn't true.
Oh, that is amazing. Now, so I guess that makes it easier, even on the other end of even if you don't know the people, but like when people are hearing it, it's easier to deal with the vulnerability of it because it sounds like your writing gets really personal and
Mhm.
really vulnerable.
Yeah.
Um, and when you hear it back, like you ever listen to your song and be like, ugh, or you ever reread it was like, yeah, I was going
Yeah.
through it in that one, like
Yeah. Definitely. I've definitely had that. But also just like being in my 20s now and when I have shown like my parents certain songs and sometimes certain lyrics come up and I'm like, just close your ears, Dad. Like you don't need to hear this one. You really don't. But that's just it's a part of it and I gotta be
right,
authentic and they know that too. And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned just from my like other musician friends is there's a point where you kind of just have to stop caring about thinking about what other people are going to think about this because on the flip side you never know who's going to hear it and who's going to relate to it and who's going to need that song. So Yeah,
That's
I just kind of,
dope.
you gotta let it go.
That's dope. I meant to ask you this. Where are you from?
I'm from right outside of Philly, like Delco area.
Okay. Shouts out to Delco, right down the right around the Westchester Chai
Oh yeah.
area. I know. Listen, yeah. And I don't know if it's back there. I have no clue why I did that. Okay,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I assume it's
behind,
around here. Okay.
behind all the hats,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Clearly, that's exactly where you'll find Springfield. Now, okay. Now let's talk about the performance aspect, right? So the peak performance, if you will. So Peaks, when Peaks gets on stage, what's your ritual you gotta go through before you start really performing?
Um, I like to have my full day to myself. You know, I prefer not to have work that day, which usually works out. Because I like to get up and run through my whole set and just practice, and then I don't know. It's pretty chill. Like once I get on stage, I definitely feed off of just the energy of whoever's there. You kind of have to have some songs in your back pocket. Maybe you thought the audience was going to be a certain way and it's not, so you got to have stuff of different genres or just different upbeat or slow tempo. But yeah, nothing too crazy. But
Right.
it's just me and my guitar, but my guitar makes me more nervous just because it's not my thing. I don't care about my like singing. So whenever I have someone else playing for me or if I have a track, I love that because then I can just do whatever I want. I can just have my moment.
Right. Ah, it's a beauty in the freeing nature of not having to worry about the music space too, while making sure that the vocals and the lyrics are all together in that way.
Hmm. Exactly.
Absolutely. And by the way, just so y'all know, this is Hats Off with G Dash Jones. We out here, Delaware Music Network, for anybody who's unaware. That's what you're watching. And I'm interviewing the amazing Peaks. And we were talking about her performance. So now, Peaks, let me ask you this, right? Because, okay, right, when you come in to prepare for your shows, do you like create a set list, or do you have like how do you pick the songs you're gonna go with, or do you even
Yeah, I'll change the set list up for whatever I'm doing. Also, just so I don't get bored, and I have a lot of people who come to a lot of my shows, so I want to, do some new ones for them because I'm constantly writing. So even if I'm not necessarily putting those songs out, or maybe I'll never put those songs out, it's fun to bring them out for a night and just show people what I've been doing. I also like to pull covers in, and that's something that you have to think about the venue too. Like, is it more of a bar scene? Are they gonna want to be dancing? Are they gonna get, like, no offense, like a little bored if they don't know who I am and they don't know my songs? So I usually will try to put the covers in just to be like, yo, yeah, you know this song. Okay, now you know that I can, like, kind of play. All right, do you want to hear the rest of me? So yeah, do a little mix of everything.
okay. Hey, I'm sorry, Peaks. You got to pause for 2 seconds. Listen, okay, you out there, listen. I want you to, because she said something. It was a gem. Pick it up. Here's what she said. Okay, I want you to make original music. Please please. But when you make original music, weave in and out, add some favorites. Even if it's just the beat of a song that's familiar for your regular music, right? You can weave in and out however you want to play it. You can weave that in and out, and then go back to your original. That way you keep the crowd. So you grab them with the commercial joint,
Yeah.
and then you get to you, and they gonna love you because you can talk to their spirit like that right now. Okay, I had to talk to them.
No,
Sometimes they,
absolutely.
you know. With that said, okay, all right. So now, do you have favorite songs to perform?
I do. I definitely have a little bit of a list of ones that I recycle. My one that I used to love for a long time was Jolene. I haven't done that one in a hot minute, but that one's fun. I give it a nice little, like, grunge to it. Um, Yo, Dustin.
What up?
Oh
How are
my
you?
God. Hello, hello. We're mourning the loss of our show tomorrow. So sad.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
It just went down like the Titanic.
We were supposed to
I'm
do
thinking. G, update your calendar. Monday is here, so have no fear. Head to work or to Dover for that job fair. Then relax, rebuild, renew, and strive with the Rebirth Podcast. That's Shay and Eli. The paint a wash, look a wash. That's where it starts over at Belfont Arts. Then live your best family life. The Chick-fil-A at Christiana's having a game night.
Where my nerds at?
It's Nerd Night at Wilmington Brew Works. Get ready for fun facts. Now grab that guitar, vocals, or saxophone and head to the Oddity Bar for the industry jam session.
Now we'll go on Wednesday.
Oh, you'll see. That's the open mic on IG from Ramrock Speaks. I see the Micro Gala by Opera Delaware at the Snuff Mill. They got Michelle Johnson, Brian Major, Chef Luli. Yeah, that's a 5-course meal. Or you can chill at home and watch Hats Off with G. Jones. This week, the guest Aaron Poole, Canopy Crow Productions. Then at the Wilmington Library, C. Common. That EGOT winner, bring your books. Oh, he'll sign them. Time to laugh with Dream hosting now. I'm talking Breakout, Keith Purnell, Missy Hall, Funny by the Pound. Now, Coffee with Creators is a monthly event at the Gibby, so you gotta sign up for this. Hit mix fit for the workout, y'all. Get ready for Delaware Caribbean Carnival. Then come into Theater Inn. I'm hosting Relieve Stress. Ty Mathis, Fig 90, Shook Daniels, it's TyFest. You at the beach is what you do. Hit Fenwick for the Fire and Ice Festival. You wanted to know what's going on? Well, there's your answer. Hit my inbox for sponsorship or to get your event on G-. Update your calendar.
One of my favorite songs. It's called Lost on You by LP. We're still going to do it this spring, but it's a really good song.
Yeah, it's a great. It's awesome.
Wait, why? What makes that one of your favorites?
Well, first of all, I mean, the lyrics, I'm a lyric girl, but when I heard it on TikTok. Of course, I see everything on TikTok. But I heard it and I was instantly like, I don't know where this song's from, but I need it. And I don't know, ever since. Just one of those things. I can't stop listening to it.
That's art. Listen, by the way, good people, again, this is Hats Off with G. Jones, the Delaware Music Network revision, Delaware Music Network edition for January. Now, I was supposed to have S. Romeo and Songbird Dallas. I think they weren't able to make it, and I already had Peaks here, and I was supposed to. So instead, I got Dunstin here, right? If y'all don't know who Dunstin Manucci is, they call him it's DMT, not that one. But I feel but the Dunstin Manucci trio was actually going to be the band playing behind Peaks, right? So at Live in Finnegan's, which the show got rescheduled because we're going to get a bunch of snow just dumped on our faces and it's not going to be comfortable for you to be safe. However, okay, with that said, I still got them here, and we were just talking about Peaks' favorite song to kind of perform. Dunstin, y'all had rehearsals.
Yeah, we did. I've been working out. I mean, I've been practicing the songs for like crazy for the show. But wait till we had a bunch of different stuff we were doing. I was actually singing a song. But we'll wait till springtime to do it.
Dunstin,
oh my God.
Vocals? See, people don't know that Dunstin Manucci Trio is an illusion. Because his name is the main name, and he picks the songs and plays the songs, but he don't get on vocals. How did Peaks? What you do? Okay, did you drug him? Okay, how did DMT wind up on the vocals? What happened?
I don't know. I did some witchcraft on you. That's what I was doing.
Nice. I when I was younger, I sang a lot. I had a bunch of different bands that I sang a lot. We wore a lot more makeup too.
Okay, so now I love this. Now you have time for the springtime for them to come out, kind of like Kiss, little Megadeth style. They listen, get you some leather, get you some face paint. Listen,
I'm wearing it right now.
Yes, I know. It's perfect. Okay, but how did she get you on the vocals, Dunstin? How did that happen for them?
There was a song that I wanted to sing, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna attempt this. I'm going really like heavily into like the more blues rock direction. So there was a lot of I used to do a lot of like gravelly kind of like blues rocky kind of vocals in general. So I was like, you know what, it's time to kind of get back into it. You know,
I dig it. So good people in the springtime, they got a blues rocky joint. You heard me? It's gonna be a little blues. So be prepared. All right, Peaks, I got a question because this is what I do at this point. When you think, does it ever happen where you have a song in your head, right? You go to write it, and when it's performance time, it's like, wait, this don't sound like I thought it was going to sound like. Then you got to start to. Does that ever happen at all?
Yeah, well, there's two things. There's either like you play a song that you think people are really gonna like, and then it's like, oh, they didn't really take that one how I thought they were gonna take it. That's fine. But that's, that's bound to happen, and you gotta you smile through it, fake it till you make it. And or there's the other where I've performed my own songs and I don't even know my own words, and I just completely mess it up. But the beauty of that is practically no one knows it, so it's all good. No one knows
That is phenomenal. Ooh, I'm gonna tell you why I love you saying that, right? It's not. It's because I believe that people need to understand artists are not perfect, right? And yes, general public should know it, but other artists need to know it, because what happens is, as an artist, we get really sensitive about our product, right? And I get it. We should all have pride in what we do, but you might forget something. The audience never knows what you forgot, because the audience hasn't heard the song before. And even if they've heard it before, they're gonna be like, "Oh, remix." So,
Exactly.
so how did you get out of your head? Because that what happens is, when people are in those situations, they wind up in their head, and they're like, wait, what do I do? How were you able to keep going?
I don't know if it's just maybe it's partly my theater background of just like doing plays and musicals when I was younger, where you're constantly taught, when other people around you forget a line, or if you forget a line, you have to improvise. And I've been on the stage since I was very young, so I'm very comfortable on it. And if you mess up, what's the biggest deal? Oh well, you messed up, you move on. I've stopped songs in the middle of it and told the audience that I had to restart because it was crappy. And you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right, right. Oh, I love that. Dust, have you ever forgotten? Have you ever forgotten what you were going to play? Like forgotten the next chord, the
Oh
next note.
yeah.
Like forgotten.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely. We have a beautiful thing on a guitar called half steps, though. You can do these little chromatic lines. Like if you meant to like go to like a major third or like a minor third, you can just kind of walk it up. We've all played notes where it's like, oh, there we go. Um, luckily, I know how to kind of kind of navigate my way through these like really meticulous, like complicated chord changes. So it's like, but yeah, absolutely, 100%. I've forgotten entire structures of songs before. Absolutely.
Oh man! So what happens when you're playing with other people and you kind of? So do they help remind you? Does he ever throw the band on or the group?
No, no. We just know how to, like, we've gotten so used to getting through stuff, and that's kind of what you practice for. I've rehearsed messing up.
Really? That's
Messing up what you do. Broken strings. I've tripped. I've busted my kneecaps. I've broken things. I think there's a photo of it. Hangnails. I've ripped that up to my knuckle before, where I'm bleeding all over the place. I've busted myself in the mouth because sometimes I'll get overzealous and play with my teeth, which I used to do, bounce the string off.
So your live performance is a full contact sport. Is what we're doing.
It is. It really is. I play guitar like I'm playing football, But
Well, Peaks, I hope your performance isn't as violent. I don't know why.
No, not quite. It's a little bit more tame.
But
Now,
absolutely, in all seriousness, yeah, we've all forgotten stuff for sure, and you just kind of get through it.
that,
Yeah, and sometimes you mess up really bad. Sometimes you have to restart, and rarely, but occasionally it does happen.
yes, yes, yes. But I actually feel like sometimes that's just a part of giving the show the best potential, giving the crowd the best potential show, right? So like, if you gotta get yourself together, cool. Like I've been at shows before where they had to readjust themselves, and it felt. But I ain't gonna lie. So again, from a crowd's perspective, we used to when we watch the artists kind of be like, hold on. No, we gotta get it. Hold up, we gotta get it right. And we feel like, oh, maybe that was on purpose. They're about to be really good now. Like, and our brain, that was planned, and you just did that for excitement. You know what I mean? We literally don't know. Okay, I need y'all to be aware of that. Now, Peaks, I'm also very, very curious. Do you have a favorite song that you've written?
That I've written? I don't know if it would be one that's even released. It's one where if you've been to a Peak show, you would know it. I think it's probably my song "Chaos," that one that I was talking about earlier.
That's it. Yeah.
Um, I feel like it was just one of the first songs that I wrote that felt. I mean, all of them are meaningful, but that one just really felt the most meaningful to me at that time. And I still, not to give a spoiler for myself, but I want to work on an album, and I would love for it to maybe be called Chaos, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool album name. Um, but I think of all my songs that are out, I think "Liar Liar" is my favorite song that's available.
Ooh, okay. So now this one's for you, Peaks. What we gonna do now is we gonna speak. So you are gonna work on it out. We ain't gotta say you want to. You about to do it. You gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Cause why not? You've accomplished a bunch of stuff anyway. The album's coming. You know. Okay.
Exactly.
It's called Chaos. You already got the title for it. Got the title song, Chaos. It's already ready. Okay. So you go.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm just. Oh, sorry. I'm just so like I'm so picky when I am producing my music that I'm just like if it's not perfect, especially with the songs that I care a lot about, then I don't want to put it out half-heartedly. And a lot of the songs that I've put out, to be honest with you, they're not my 100% like favorite songs I've ever written. They were just ones that were easily produced. I liked the way they sounded, and I didn't have too much of a predisposed idea of what I thought they needed to sound like. But I've been saying it for like probably 2 years now that I wanted to work on an album, but I think this year's definitely the year.
absolutely. The album is coming. She already called it. It's called Chaos. Huh? That's what it is. Although now I got a question for Dustin. Hey, bud, how are you? Question. Okay. How do y'all combat that? Because or how have you dealt with that when, as an artist, we want to be perfectionists, right? We want everything we put out to be our best work. And like, how do you wind up, how'd you wind up putting out Midnight Angel after pushing life back and be like, well, maybe we shouldn't do this shit. Should we gonna do it? You get how do you get there?
To be honest with you, I rehearsed it so much at home when me and Greg wrote it together. And we just rehearsed the parts so much at home to the point where it was like, all right, it's ready to go. Like it's ready to be put out. I do get really picky about like my guitar solos, so because they are pretty intricate.
Yes, yes. You are master shredder, sir.
I'm getting there, you know.
Yes.
But it's just like sometimes I'm like, okay, so what do I want to convey on this solo and stuff like that. And I made Greg. I'm like, dude, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. Usually 2 or 3 takes is usually the best takes, but because I do a lot of improv, I actually don't write out my solos usually. So everything's kind of off the cuff. So there's times where, dude, it sucks. Like you'll be playing and like you're just like, what did I just play? I'm like, erase that. No, that is never being put out ever.
Wow.
But yeah, I will make Greg do it like 4,000 times in a row. I'm like, oh man, like I didn't like my guitar down there or something. I like to drive everybody nuts. You know, I can be a diva about that kind of stuff.
Listen, it's a part of the creative space. It's hard being a creative, and people don't always understand that because of how much work you got to put in and how much you care about the song. It ain't got nothing to do with how much, like by the time, listen, that's why I love that what you said, Peaks, when you said, hey, for you, like sometimes the songs that get put out are the songs where it was based on how easy it was to actually create, and still sound good, right? Because it's easy to do too much. It's easy to want something. It's easy to have an expectation of it now, and once you expect it to sound away, oh, you might as well shelf it because it already exists. Now it has to exist to the world like it does in your head, and that's that's right.
It's almost impossible sometimes. Like sometimes it's not. It's just not going to be that.
Yes.
But maybe that's the beauty of it, that it's like, okay, it's your song, so you get to have it how you want it in your head, and now everyone else gets to have it in their way, and that's fine.
Yes, but I will tell you my opinion. It is a horrible opinion, but it's the truth. Put it out. Because people put out anything. There is somebody right now putting out a hateful message about a guy with hats. Okay?
Probably. There's probably a lot of them, but
Right. So your song that you feel like is questionable isn't because you're Peaks. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Like,
There
you're
we go.
already you. Like
Right?
Dunstin Manucci, he's one person, but he's already a trio, so it's already great. Okay. Anytime one
There we
man's a
go.
trio before. Yeah, there's Greg. Yeah. Listen, I met the drummer as well. Yeah, it's three of them, but it's still one trio, Dunstin Manucci. You see how that? It's weird. It's a thing.
Mhm.
Anytime you're already there, if you choose to put something out, what people don't realize is when you do something that nobody else has done, it's already going to be well done because it's in a different space.
Yeah.
Now, it's hard because you have your vision of how you want to hear it, and
I
that's the
just have
thing.
to not be so stubborn. You got to get over that stubbornness. Got to get over the, not the vision, but got to get over whatever it is that holds it back. Maybe it's just the
Absolutely.
hoping, like you think that people are going to like it exactly how you like it.
Mm.
But sometimes, I've had some of my songs that I've sent out to people to just mix and master it, and he'll add like an instrument to it that I didn't even know it needed at all. And then I get it back and I'm like, you know what? This was actually it's now I'm listening to the what I sent you and it was so naked. I
Mm.
needed whatever that other person heard or didn't hear and needed to put in.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It makes it kind of fuller, and sometimes it can just, sometimes you need other ears on it to help it make it more palatable for you. Like, wait, you would have added salt to that? I didn't even
Yeah.
think about the salt. That clearly needs salt. Got
Yeah.
it. Dustin, do you go through that as well, where sometimes you create and you're like, I don't know if I like this, and then here come Greg, and it's like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I do have a tendency to be really stubborn. I like to yell until I get my way. I'm pretty good at that. But there
Okay.
are times where I'm like, all right. I'll throw you guys a bone. That's fine.
You know, on hats off, I learned a lot of things from people every time. I didn't expect to learn that you can be a brat. Like that wasn't on my bingo card for Dustin at all. Okay, that's it. But apparently, it
I'm a
makes for great
guitar
music.
player.
So we'll take it.
Right.
That's why we love Dustin.
Yes, but it makes great art. Okay. Oh, another message for the people. By the way, yeah, you up here. Sometimes, if you now on the other hand, if you got the vision for some dope stuff, be a brat about it. Like be annoying about what you want. And I get it. People are like, well, why would you want to do that? Who cares? Because when it's dope, they're gonna still be like, I get why. That's why. Okay, it's why. I understand. And now everybody's in agreement with you being like almost annoying about it. But that's how stubborn you kind of got to be about being great. So I'm here for it. Love it. Oh man. All right. Let me see. I got like two more questions for y'all. This is just for my own thought. Peaks, how did you get your name?
So, it's actually like a super simple but sweet answer. My name is Pamela Kelly, and growing up, my dad called me PK or Peaks. And so when I was putting my music out for the first time, I wasn't really fully sure if I wanted to go by my full name, and I went on a limb and I did Peaks, and I'm so glad that I did. I love having a stage name. I think it's more fun. I think it's not even like a different persona, but like in a way it kind of is. I feel like Hannah Montana.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually dope, and it makes a lot of sense to me. I can see it. Um, now, Dustin, I get why did you put the band together before you chose to be a trio, and why'd you pick to go with your name as the main name of the trio?
Oh. Oh man, the Dustin Manucci trio, or some sort of variation of Dustin Manucci, whatever it was, came from freshman year of high school. So I always had a band, like bands with like Dustin Manucci something. I think in high school it was Trio of Doom, which I was really heavily into like John McLaughlin and all those like the Fusion Cats. So it was a full blown. I mean, like we still do a lot of the neoclassical like full blown shred stuff, but it was like everything was like the as many notes as you could possibly think, as many chord changes, no singing at all. I was really heavily at the time into Mozart and Vivaldi. So, and I still do a lot of classical medleys and stuff like that. Everybody who's seen me play live, see me do Mozart and stuff like that.
Sir, shouts out to your non-cramping fingers. He stays hydrated because I would think that they would cramp a little bit. But I feel like
I'm actually really, really relaxed when I'm playing at that speed, and I'm playing these really wide, I have a pretty large hand, so.
okay.
Pretty...
Well, listen, shouts out to that. So, I feel like.
But my middle name is Armando, so at one point it was Dustin Armando Manucci, and yes, that is my real middle name.
Damn, how about that, Dustin Armando?
Yeah, right. So, if I ever, get mad at all that, I might change it to Dan. Just kidding.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. Now, Pete, I'm very curious, right? I found out a thing, right? I didn't know this before, but different people hear different things in music first, right? And it was odd to me. Like I found it out. I was talking to Harvey Road. There's a local band here. They fire, and I was asking different members what they hear first because, like my man Lucky, he's a drummer, but Lucky's an engineer, so he hears levels like an engineer would hear in a studio first. He doesn't hear like I was like, what? My brain broke. And Genesis, on the other hand, Genesis Z, wow, he plays everything and sings it all, but he's a guitar player first. So when he hears music, he hears the guitar first, no matter what the song is. If there's a guitar, his ears gravitate towards that first. So now, Peaks, I'm curious, when you hear music, like I know you write, do you hear the lyrics first, you hear the sound first? Like what do you hear first when you hear music?
I think it's probably voice and then lyrics for sure. I think just like I'm always like I hear that first, but when I first started getting into producing my own music, which I'm still learning, it's very much a learning curve, like because that's people go to school for that. Me, I'm like YouTubing things, so we're getting there, we're learning. But when I started doing that, I started to hear different things when I was listening to music on the radio, and I was able to hear kind of like some of the new stuff that was coming out where I was like, this is like heavily not real. Like this is not a real guitar that's being played. This is not a real keyboard or real drums. Like this is so electronic. And whether that's a bad thing or not, a lot of people have stuff to say about that. Because I think it's still art when people use the electronic, like instruments, but it's just different. And it's cool to be able to open up that side of my hearing and be able to detect that. It's definitely it's helped a lot with making my music.
That's dope. That is, you took me in two different directions, but that is amazing because I love that you hear vocals, that you hear voice first, you hear the vocals first, and then you kind of pair it up. But even comparing it to the technological influence on sound is very very entertaining to me. I didn't even think about that, so that's dope.
Yeah.
What about you, Dust? What do you hear first?
If it's a song that has singing, I'm gonna go right to the vocal line.
Really?
That vocal line is gonna determine what chords that I put underneath of that song.
Oh wow. Okay, so if you play a song like it's already done, you're still listening to the vocal line first and then thinking about what you would play?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where you can come up with these kind of chord melody things. So I kind of go in like the more of like a jazzier direction in writing, whether it's rock or blues or anything like that. But even like writing Midnight Angel and stuff like that, that chord melody, where it starts on that major third for the chorus part that determine, okay, cool, that's an E major 7 chord, or, E major 9. Sometimes I have, E major 9.
That's dope. Listen, this just fascinates me because everybody apparently listens to music and hears something different initially, and that's just like that's fire. Like you now, granted, you both hear vocals, but for two very different reasons. Right? Like you're like very like you hear the same thing, but you do go somewhere completely different with it, and that is the amazing thing to me about music and art in general. Oh, this is fire. All right. With that said, good people, this has been the January Delaware Music Network episode of Hats Off. I'm gonna tell you this, Peaks, because you don't know. Dustin knows this already, but I'm telling you, I do a thing where I tell people, if you give me a word, I'll give you a poem. So now, while you think of a word, I'm telling the people now, I'm hosting TyFest. I want to say that's not this Saturday coming up. That's next Saturday from 3 to 7 there to end. Ooh, we're going to be doing some things. Also, look up for me to update your calendar. I'm going to give you all the events popping off within the next week, except for tomorrow, because it's snowed out. You get over it. You know, go throw a snowball tomorrow. Bam. And look at me. Look for me every Thursday at 7:30 with Hats Off. Next week, I got my man Aaron Poole from Canopy Productions and a bunch of different bands, and he does some things. So we're talking to him next week. With that said, now as you know, I do hashtag give me a word. So y'all got words for me?
Do we give you words, or do the people give you
No,
words?
you two. No, this is your words.
Okay.
You give me 2 words.
I think because our show got canceled, let's do snow.
Snow. Okay. Dustin, give me a word. Lord knows.
Oh God.
Arpeggio. Let's do arpeggio.
Arpeggio. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. I'm thinking. Like, I just love the beautiful things that aren't annoying to deal with. I know how that sounds, but I need you to understand this. Like, I want the ones that look easy and soft to be easy and soft, but most of the time it feels like that until we can't get along. Like, I'm sorry, but it's almost like I'm cramping up at the wrong time when I'm trying to play the song. Now the nut is stuck, and in a way that they saying, hey, G, you probably should just give it up. And I'm like, nah, that feeling's not yet gone. See, I like when it's not beautiful all the time, but it's easy all the time. And maybe that's why I have the wrong frame of mind, because things that are often easy aren't worth having all the time. But that track through it all can make it hard to find. Okay, I get it. I know what you're thinking. Hey, G, you're really starting to slip here. And I know, but that's because it gets really slick here. And I just wanted it to be easy to gain traction, so I'm trying to keep it rolling until this end is near. But for some reason, it's like the same note they're hitting, it starts to be echoing, and I can only hear how it sounds before I can steer myself around. And I probably should have parked now, but I won't, so I'll be out in whatever that hardest thing to deal with will always be, only because it's so beautifully inviting to me. See, I know. It comes with the beauty, and sometimes if you sustain through it, you'll get to enjoy it and, make your own angel. See, that's how I treat my snow. But it's also known to hit that perfect note and echo in the proper way, like an arpeggio poem. Thank you. All right, y'all. That was your boy T-Dash, y'all. Something like, trying to use words and rhyme and stuff. So, okay.
I loved it.
Thank you. Dustin has seen me do this. I don't even know how many times.
I know. I always try to pick the words, like just words that won't rhyme at all.
Oh.
But you always do nail it every time. It's great.
I know.
You picked the word that rhymed with her word. Like your word literally rhymed with hers. It was really easy, actually.
Oh, that's true.
No, that one. No, not tonight. Not tonight. The last couple of times, though, it was like, all right.
Okay. Well, that was like you literally. The harder part was making it all come together, but that worked out too. So, with that said, anything that y'all want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Listen. So I have a new song that came out in December. It's called Closed Doors. Check it out. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get back into that. It's Hey It's Peaks everywhere. Yeah.
What's the YouTube channel called?
It's actually, you know what? My YouTube channel is just Peaks, but you can get it from my Instagram. That's probably easier. In the link in my Instagram.
So link in her bio for her YouTube channel, since she's going back up. And if you look up Peaks on all socials and look up Closed Door, there you go.
There we go.
All right. What about you, Dustin?
February 14th, we have a music video coming out for Midnight Angel, which actually features Peaks in the video.
Yes.
And also Alyssa. And it was a great time. So we're busy editing that right now, and that'll be out Valentine's Day. So look out for that.
So excited.
Oh, so that's dope. Listen, I'm looking out for it. Listen, if I need to pull up, I throw a Blazer on rock out in the video because why not? It's necessary for no good reason. Let's do things. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
with that said, since we started out the show with Midnight Angel, I guess it's only right on the closeout. Again, everybody, love yourself first and everything else will fall into place. This has been G-Jones. Hats off. Excuse me, hats off for G-Jones, the Delaware Music Network edition. I got Peaks here. Yeah, you here. Y'all killing. Yeah, driving crazy.
Say that you want me
tonight. I'm the best you That's it. I don't want no copyright claim. All right, it's been fun, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Thank you both for joining. This has been amazing. And I'll see y'all next week. Hats off, G-Jones.
Thank you.